in. I'm so excited. 29. 29 to me will always be Andrew Short.
Yes.
Like, period. Of course.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of the Short family. They live outside of Austin. They do live outside of Austin. And so Andrew would ride our like local track, Del Valley, which is cool. So like sometimes we go out there and just, like casually like Andrew Short on the track. Like what? Get out of here. So well, hello friends. Welcome back to another episode of Real Housewives of Moto. Like we said, this is episode 29. We are recapping Vegas SMX where Katie and I were. We are still recovering. Did not drink, so we're not hungover. We're just working moms and got dehydrated and had a crappy Airbnb and all the things. But man, I don't even have words, Katie. Like it feels like it was like not real. Like it was, we were just saying before we press record. Like what?
Yeah, like team tired, number one. Like
team exhausted.
Yeah, I mean, I know. Like I had a 7-hour drive.
7 hours.
Ended up being longer, but I'm not going to complain because there was a bad accident. So
everybody got stuck in it though. Everybody from SoCal got stuck in it.
Yeah. And then, it kind of felt like we were saying at the press conference, like the first day of high school, you know?
Yeah.
Like sitting under that tarp with those round tables and like you kind of like know people, like you know who they are, but they don't know you. And it's kind of like, it felt like the first day of like senior year or something. Yeah.
No, it was so fun. So Katie and I shared an Airbnb with Mina and Grant Harlan, but added bonus that Margot, my daughter's favorite writer, is Grant. And so when I told her that we were rooming with Grant, she's like freaking out. Even though she thinks that his name is Eli Tomac, she's just excited because she's a redhead. She thinks everybody's name is Eli Tomac. So it just cracks me up. But Grant and Mina and Katie and I shared an Airbnb, which was the most deceptive Airbnb listing ever. It was sketch as hell and smelled like cigarette smoke. And Katie and I were just talking about how all of our clothes smell like cigarette smoke, but we're getting there. And it was so fun. Like we did all day Friday, which I don't know if it's just like not communicated well, but none of the Fridays have been well attended. They're media and free practice. So there's 2 free practice sessions. Was there a KTM junior practice? We didn't watch any of the KTM juniors, but that's okay. So we went on Friday. It was so hot. I mean, Saturday was hotter, but Friday was brutal. I mean, no joke. Like everybody's like, it's so humid. And I'm like, well, it feels like Texas. But we survived.
Right. It was more of a humid heat than a dry heat. But I think what helped Friday was it was a ghost town. It wasn't busy. But so I feel like that made it doable.
Yeah. I was a little nervous because I was like, oh gosh, like what if the race is empty? You know, like what if there's nobody in the grandstands? Because there was nobody there. It was like us and the teams, us as fans and the teams, which was just kind of weird. But so we went in and the press conference started about 30 minutes after we got there. Embarrassingly enough, the generator went out for the broadcast. The microphones went out first. And so what's really funny, when the 250 press conference, apparently Joe said when the microphones went out that Deegan broke the microphone because he was like smacking it down on the table after every question.
I think that's what happened because I noticed that like Deegan just was chucking the microphone like back on the table.
Yeah. And he's like, it's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. And I'm like, are you, bro? Chill. Like, goodness gracious. But Katie and I got there really early. So we had like front and center table for fans. And then there was a separate section for media. And so we were talking when we were there about like some of our favorite moments of the weekend. And I was like, honest to God, like sitting there in like direct eye shot of Eli, like, cause I was right in front of Eli and then it was Jet and then Hunter. And I was like, oh my gosh, this man's stare is so intense. Like he is locked in.
Yeah. So, and he was in jeans, which was cute.
Yeah. What you know what's funny is like we've talked about like I'm like where does he stare during the press conferences? So I was really interested to see where he's looking. He's definitely looking over everyone's head into the abyss, you know?
Yeah, and I think that's just a tactic of, you know, he's more shy and reserved and like doesn't like all those eyes on him probably. Yeah. So maybe that's just what he was taught in media training or something.
Yeah. I don't blame him. That's what I would do. He looks very pensive, like staring off into the distance, like pondering each question. So, press conference was super fun. Weege is just an absolute boss because he landed that plane like so great. He was like, I've been doing this for 20 years and you know?
He did handle it so good. I loved when the jets were going and JT said that's the sound of freedom or whatever.
Oh yeah, that did get some applause. Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, the crowd was really cool. You know, like when the 450s came on and they all started yelling Tomac, like that was really cool to witness.
That was cool. I listened back to some of the clips from it, and we made a friend at our table, and he was very loud. You could hear him yelling during some of the questions.
Oh my gosh!
Even Tim was like, "Who's that yelling?" And I'm like, "He was sitting right next to Katie. God bless."
I'm like, I hope people don't think me and him are together because he was just obnoxious.
Well, we did give him a bracelet, so he's officially a Romy. We did. So. And then after that, we just went and walked around. I'm looking through my pictures. Went and found a girl, Courtney, who is one of the PR gals for Yamaha. She had a busy weekend chasing everybody around. Not limited to Deegan. I mean, she does it for both 450s and 250s. So she had quite the weekend.
She was really nice. I wish I knew they were going to Maui the next day. I would have gave them some tips because I go to Maui every year.
Maui. Everybody's there.
Everyone's in Maui, and Eli's going in October.
And Cooper and Mariah are there, and
Andrea and Nate Thrasher,
and they're with the Smiths. Jordan Smith. I love Katie Smith posted today. She was like, "There's Jordan and his swollen shoulder." The video of him getting his shoulder put back into socket, like, it is nasty. I've done that before, but obviously, like, I wasn't watching it. And so, like, seeing it, I was like, my shoulder had PTSD. It was like, been there, done that. Don't want to do that again. So the fact that he came out, I can't even remember what he placed, but I'm pretty sure it was top 10, is incredible. So yeah, because I think I remember listening to Pulp and he went like 10-7 for 6 overall, which, like, the math doesn't math, but good job, Jordan. So
yeah.
That was fun. Got to meet Nastasia, who is just the goddess. I wrote goodness because I couldn't see my screen. I went back and I was looking at my Instagram stories, but Nastasia is married to Dylan Ferrandis, and she's so stunning, and she's even more beautiful in person. And I was like so shy, but I saw her and nobody was there, and I was like, I gotta go get a picture with her. And she was so sweet, and we talked about their like expensive ass cats, and it was just so fun. So we continued to sweat our butts off and walk around. Got pictures with Lux Turner, which was so fun.
He was very sweet.
Oh, he was. Nicole told me, she was like, he's the exact opposite of me. Like, he's such an old soul. She's like, I think he's that way because I'm such a spaz. And I'm like, yeah, can confirm. He is an old soul. He is the opposite of Nicole.
Very down to earth, very not like very genuine. Yes.
Yeah. And Lux had a great night. Like, he was right behind. I mean, I shouldn't say right behind Deegan. He was right behind that top 5 pack. And I was like, okay, just stay right here. Like, you don't need to get any closer to Deegan and that, like, that chaos.
Yeah.
Gosh. But Katie, I probably grabbed your arm every time Lux went around because he was like, he'd stick his foot out like you're supposed to. And I was just like, like, I was like, I was thinking he's going to dab his foot and like hurt it.
I know that dab the foot is going to haunt us forever.
I trust
it's all I look at now.
I know. Well, so many people have done it. You know, Jet did it. Eli did it. It's just like, God, I just don't trust it. So we're getting ahead of ourselves, but looking through pictures, got to meet our girl, Taryn Robinson. She hosted lots of the outdoor press conferences, and she's just, oh my gosh, she's just a G. So it was fun meeting her. Then we went and watched some free practice. I saw Lil Baby Deegs. What's his name? Hudson? His name is Hudson,
Huxon.
Right? Is his name Huxon or is that his nickname? I don't know what his name is.
I think it's Huxon.
We'll call it Huxon. Okay. Little baby H. No, well, they're all H's. Just kidding. Anyhow, so we're sitting in the stands and I see him start to walk down the top of the bleachers. You remember when this happened?
Yes.
And I'm like, he's going to fall and rack himself. That's what I thought. I was like, he's going to slip and like bust his nuts on this. And no. He just goes up to, what's his name? What's the filmer? Medium Boy? Is that who is the one with the curly hair?
I had no idea who it was.
He's some filmer in their crew. I think it's Medium Boy. This is how not cool I am. We're going to get to how not cool I am with Bailey Zimmerman. We'll get there. But then he pantses him, and thank God it was just pants and not the boxers, but in front of the whole grandstand, which probably was a couple thousand people.
Yeah, I'm like, easy.
What a little shit.
I'm like, that was gutsy, because imagine if he accidentally grabbed it with the boxers.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I know. So I was like, not a good look. Did get it on film, but not going to post that because that's just mean. So we watched, free practice 1 is when the storm clouds rolled in, but they didn't make it to us. They kind of went around the track, which was weird. But cooled off things. So it got exponentially cooler.
It did. A little nice breeze. Yeah, that was nice.
We watched Levi come off the track, and then immediately Hayden was behind him, and I was scared for about 2 seconds, but then I was like, he doesn't need to mess with Levi. And then went back and watched our girl Tati. So Tati is the PR and comms lead for Honda, and I connected with Tati when we started this account because I was like following anybody with a uterus in Moto, which there's not that many. But I told her, I was like, we'd never met until this weekend. And I told her, I was like, I'm just so excited to watch you work. And like one of her least favorite things is managing that autograph line because hello, Jet, Hunter, and Joe. And so I made sure when the autograph line opened that I was there to watch it. And like the line, I'm pretty sure every fan who was there on Friday was in that line. And I know that's not true because Yamaha's was at the same time, but that line was insane. Like they have so many fans. And it was just incredible to like watch all that go down. And just kind of the well-oiled machine that it's become. So
yeah.
That was fun. We made some new friends. We met the promoters of Hangtown, and they were lovely. We had a nice little lunch with them, and
they were so nice.
They were so friendly. Yeah. And Katie's insanely overpriced French fries that were honestly ass, weren't they?
I regret spending money on that. Like I'll never live that down. That was terrible.
The food was not great. Like I at one point I was like, oh, I'm starving. I'm going to go get something. And like, I don't know, like a burger didn't feel like it. And then they had like Korean barbecue, like some bulgogi. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about.
It's just too hot to eat that stuff. Like I needed some protein. So I got the burger. I wish I didn't get the fries.
Yeah.
The burger was good, but it was like way too hot to eat.
Yeah. Yeah. It was not my favorite race experience from a pit perspective. Like the food, there was no shade. It was really, really spread out. Like there was a giant monster activation in the middle. So they had like Stasics and then they had freestyle and they had this whole stage. So everything was kind of around it. But like, I mean, if you wanted to go to Honda, which was like as far as you could get from the pits, or PC, which was the other direction, I mean, it was a hike. Like it was no small pit. We'll say it that way.
No, I really want to go to pits when it's indoors.
Yeah, I'd like to experience that too. Like, so St. Louis is indoors. Isn't there? There's not Detroit. I think Detroit indoors.
There's another one. Maybe Detroit. Yeah,
Atlanta used to be right. Atlanta had a convention center or something.
I think so, and I think San Francisco. That might be wrong, but from what I remember, when we went in 24, I think it was indoors, but we didn't go in the pits because it was a long, long, long hot walk.
Yeah. Well, we don't have San Fran for next year, so
nope.
I'm looking at the schedule right here. So the schedule comes out on the 30th, and my petty ass really wants to post it in my stories on the 29th. I'm debating whether I'm going to do that or not. I don't want to like steal anybody's thunder, but I also want to prove that like I have legit information in the sport. And so we'll just say there's no San Fran. Let's see. What else do we do? We watch a Jet wear somebody's pet bird for the whole autograph section. That was fun.
That was cool. Yeah.
Apparently Jet asked him how much the bird would cost, and the guy was like, nah. And I was like, I can tell you that guy was not going to sell that bird. He was in love with that bird.
He loved that bird. I saw him like walking around the pits with it like all day.
He was there the next day too. Like he was there with the bird on Saturday. I was like, that's commitment, man. Also, like, what does this bird eat? Do you carry around bird food with you all day? Or are you buying him expensive ass fries? Her name was Maya. It's a her. So, anywho, that was the end of being at the track. Oh, we parked next to Juju Beaumer, which was so funny.
That was fun. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, we came out and had a big 23 on it, and I was like, not Chase Sexton, not Chase's Oakley goggles. We had that saga last week. But Juju was there. Juju was on Race Day Live. He was around the KTM pits. He's got that big old brace on. I mean, I am so impressed and honestly just kind of like in awe that Juju is okay. I mean, like the fact that he had that major surgery on his spine and is like up and walking the next day is incredible. So we're sending all the healing vibes to Juju for sure.
Oh, scary. For sure. Also, since his truck was there, that mean he drove.
No, he had a driver. I asked somebody in the KTM camp. And they were like, no, he had a driver. Or somebody drove him. He didn't drive. I was like, yeah, that seems like not okay.
Dang, that still seems like a long time in the car with his back.
Yeah. Well, how far away is Havasu? Because he's in Havasu, right?
Yeah, I know like that's his hometown. I don't know if he lives somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right now, like Temecula area. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, still a good drive. Yeah, a couple hours.
Well, we are happy that Juju is not worse for the wear. So, then that evening we got dinner with Tati. We went to the hotel where, what's it called? Resort World?
Yeah, Resort World.
Big ass hotel, where the Honda team was staying. And so we had dinner at a little Mexican restaurant and just had some girl time and spilled some tea, and things were said at that table that will never be repeated. not on recording. We'll say that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was perfect. Like, I love a small circle, so I was glad there wasn't like 12 other people there. Like, it was just very intimate, very nice. Like, you know, you can actually get to know someone when it's a small group like that. So that's my cup of tea.
Yeah, I'm terrible about like realizing that like all of my friends don't know each other. Like, you had never met Tati, you had never met Dan, and I'm just assuming everybody knows each other. And I'm like, no, Allie, like they don't know each other. Like, so it was just so fun, like seeing like my like real life friends, you, like intersecting with my online friends, Tati, and like everybody just getting along. And I mean, it was just so fun. Like, we went and got ice cream and sat outside, and I was telling Tim, I was like, you know, for years I always said like, I just want one female friend who like understands Moto, and we just sat outside and ate ice cream and talked Moto for like an hour.
Yeah, and I didn't feel like I was being annoying because I'm like, we all like talking about it, you know?
You're not annoying. You couldn't be if you tried. I feel like I'm annoying to my family when I talk about Moto, and I met Katie's family very briefly, and I'm just like, I can't even wrap my mind around having a family that like not only isn't annoyed by Moto, but like buys better seats at Moto. Like, your family actually had seats, which we'll get there. Like, what an incredible, I mean, I just, oh my gosh. Like, if I could nerd out with my family about Moto, I mean, at this point, like even Tim's like, he's like, I can't keep up with you. Like, I get my news from you, you know? He's like, I see something on Instagram and like, you've already told me about it. So, that was the end of day one. Then next day I met up with Dan, you hung back, and that was the day of the heat. That was the day that it was real hot, like dangerously hot.
Yeah, I was like, I need to stay in the AC as long as possible at this point.
The AC that only got down to 74 degrees. That they had wouldn't let us go any cooler. So I met up with Dan and his wife Sabrina. Again, I'd never met Sabrina. I'd known Dan for years, and they were supposed to come to Arlington for the suite party that I planned a couple years ago, which Katie came to. But Sabrina got in a really bad car accident and she couldn't come. So it was the first time meeting her. And we went and walked around Fremont Street, which was a trip. I had never been there before. I was like, it was just... I mean, butts and boobies everywhere.
Yeah, that's the wild side.
Like, I don't feel like I'm a prude at all, but I just like felt like walking around. I was like, there's a whole ass hanging out right there. Like, and people are charging to take pictures. And I'm like, hey, more power to them. So that was fun. We went to a couple of casinos and just like walked around, and there was a big college football and sports betting bar, which was fun. And then we headed to track for qualifying, the second qualifying. We didn't make it there in time for the first one, which honestly, like, I don't know that I could have withstood the heat that long. Like, it was, I mean, just the whatever 2 hours that cut off. Like, if I had had 2 more hours in the sun, no.
No, what saved me was we were able to go up those stairs and be in the shade. Yeah.
That was weird though. Like, nobody, like none of the event staff had like clarification on like who could sit up there. So it was like VIP was the monster one. The premium was up at the top, which is like the only thing under the shade. And then you could only go up this certain staircases. And then we were like, well, can we stay here? And nobody had any idea. So God bless the security team. It just was not, it was not coordinated, you know? So we made it work though. We made it through, qualifying, and then when the sun started to go down, it was nice, but this is when we started to get a little not happy about the seating arrangement. So I remember when we bought these tickets, like six weeks ago, it said general admission. We're like, okay, cool. That just probably means like wherever, sit wherever.
That's how I took it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Katie and I bought tickets full price, and then also had industry bands. There is no seating for industry, which I have heard. And I was like, okay, it's fine. We bought tickets. We'll have a seat. No seating for general admission either. It's standing room only. Like, how bad was it? How bad was it? I mean, like when we went through the tunnel, like what did I say we felt like?
Oh, gosh, peasants. We were peasants. It's just, yeah, I didn't get that. Like, just stand. I mean, it ended up being cool for Moto 1, like watching them haul butt into that corner and those rollers was amazing. Like,
Yeah. That back half of the track was fast. So basically, like on the broadcast, if you saw like the main grandstands and then they had bleachers, we had like cattle call behind that. It was basically just like an open area that you had to stand in, and there was no seating. It was just rails. And at first I thought we would maybe sit at the starting gate, but even the starting gate, like you'd see the start and that's it. So that whole like that section, like we're not doing video today and I'm pointing like you guys know what I can see. But that whole section you couldn't see from anywhere. There was no grandstands. There was no open seating. The mechanics were back there, but then they moved. So like nobody could see like a third of the track from where we were, like at all. And then it had that, it was like up high. So it had a drop off. And then on the other side of the drop off was just like the industry walk in. So like there was literally a third of the track that if you attended, you couldn't see. Like luckily nothing like major went down there, but I was like, what the hell? Like, not cool. So then we wandered our way over to the back section, which Katie said was kind of right after the table, the over the tunnel,
like through the sand over the table, and then they did
that was crazy. Like it was. I mean, we couldn't see much of it, so like that was frustrating. But the speed. And for me, like, I've never been to an outdoor national, so this is the closest I've physically been to dirt bikes, like professional dirt bikes in motion. And so at first I was like, am I crazy? And I'm the noob here that like they are hauling ass. But then seeing like your face and Dan's face, like I was like, okay, like they really are hauling ass. And we know like there was lots of wrecks back there. But even the rider said like it was the fastest section of the fastest track all year. So when we say they were flying, like flying.
No, like, yeah. I mean, I've been to multiple nationals and watched bikes up close, and I have never seen them go that fast. It was wild. I was just like, are you? And like, I would video it, and it didn't do it justice. Like, you had to be there.
Yeah,
to watch
I look
how
back
fast
at my
they
videos,
were.
and I was just like,
you can't crazy.
You can't tell how fast it was. Like it.
Yeah.
Oh. And then at one point, me and this other chick, who did we get roosted by? Like somebody started to blow up that outside line, and like both of us got sand in our eye at the same time. I don't know who it was. But I got sand in my eye. That's how close we were. And it was like there was random sand. Like it was like they had a little bit extra sand and then a little bit extra dirt, and they just like plopped it in on the like that split lane. The split lane where Deegan went on the outside of Vial. That was, I don't even have words. Like I was just like, what just happened? Like it was so fast and he did it so easy. It was like, was Tom sitting still? Like he was like, yeah,
I know. Yeah, it was that like we were complaining about standing, but like I will never forget that. Like that was really cool to see, and that was like worth it to stand.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that move, and then the 450s, the lap that Jet decided to jet and dropped Eli by 2.5 seconds, which we should also say we did not have a screen visible to us, and we did not have speakers that we could hear. So the only time we could hear anything is when the crowd was reacting. So we were only literally seeing that back fifth of the race. I mean, maybe it was longer than that. So when we heard over the speakers, because we saw Jet turn it on, like that's when Eli was in first and Katie's soul was leaving her body. I was like, are you okay? Do I need to hold you? Like, do I need to hold you up in case you faint? There's such a good picture of you. Like we were start to hyperventilate. You're breathing into your hands. I was like, breathe. But then Jet those Jet things. And so we did hear he has made 2.5 seconds on Eli over the speakers. And I was like, that's not correct. There's no way. And then the next lap around, it was like, there's Jet. Pause. There's Eli. Like, what?
Yeah.
He's a freak.
Jet is he's going to be the best. He's going to be the best rider there ever was.
Yeah.
And I think they all know that. So
I think they do too. So we stayed back there for the first moto. You could absolutely see the Jet was hanging back. Like, I mean, Hunter was going for it, and then seeing the footage like after Moto 1, I mean, you got to think that like Jet wanted Hunter to win that. I mean, that's why they're both like basically in tears, you know? And apparently Hunter was sick. He had whatever Joe had the week before, which like, honestly, I don't know that Joe was totally over it. Like Joe looked like he was going to barf at one point on the podium. Remember I said that to you? I was like, oh God, he's going to throw up. Like,
yes,
don't put the camera on him. So that was, I mean, that that makes me so sad for both Jet and Hunter. And obviously, like, we couldn't see them coming off the track, but saw a video of it of a certain media outlet that posted it. And I don't know. I just think that there's a fine line between like journalistic integrity and like getting the shot and getting the story and just like being a decent human. And I got a little frustrated with this media outlet because they're trying to like shove the camera in Hunter and Jet's face when like obviously like Hunter is devastated. He's got the towel draped over him. Like Jet's trying to console him. Our girl Tati's like putting her butt in the middle of the shot, which like good on her. Like she's trying to do all the things to try to like block the shot. And so I shared it and I was like, read the room, media. Like that was it. That's all I said. I was like, read the room. Like probably not the time to like try to stick your camera up there. Well, woke up Sunday morning to a message from the owner of said media, who is an ex-racer, commenting on the video that Don Maeda shared from Swap Moto of Chase on the mule. And he was like, okay, but you're an ambulance chaser or something like that. Read the room. And then blocked me from his account and blocked me from his media company account, which honestly I think is hilarious. And like, if you're offended by the opinions of like a middle-aged mom who likes moto enough to block me, like, okay.
Yeah, Mr. Sensitive.
I know. So I stand by it. I mean, I do know that like they're like, we got to get the shot, we got to whatever. But I'm like, man, like we have so many years of Jet and Hunter battling, and like, I don't know, it just looked so raw. And then listening to Jet give the podium interview and talking about Hunter, like, and even like Hunter's face, like in the team photo, like I'm just like, I cannot imagine what Hunter is feeling. Like,
I know.
I my heart breaks for him because like he is why Jet is so great. You know, he's done all the hard work, and you know, he couldn't get it done. And I think a lot of that was circumstance. I think he was sick. But man, I'm excited for next year for Hunter because like everybody's like, oh, Jet, Deegan. And we've said it here, but I'm like, Deegan's got to get through Hunter. Like he's got to get through Hunter to get Jet. And that's going to be no easy feat. So I am team Hunter. I should say that. I shouldn't assume, Katie, you are, but we like.
I love Hunter. I love Hunter. Yeah.
It's a good
I like
time
Jet
to be a Hunter
too,
fan.
but it's Hunter's turn.
It is. And Jet is just like, I mean, Hunter even said it. He was like, you know, I can beat him at home. I can beat him on the practice track, but I kind of wonder if he's sandbagging it because every time we're in race mode, he's just, you know, finds something else. So that was wild. And that was happening while Katie and I were moving from the cattle call section to the podium. So we will take a short break because I need to answer the doorbell, and we'll come back and talk about the podium. So hold on. Alrighty, we are back. So for both motos, we went down to the podium. And during this time was when the KTM juniors were racing, and our girl Haley Shanley, who I got to meet this weekend, was doing all of the KTM junior stuff. And I was so impressed with her because she's literally never seen these names before. And she's just rattling them off like they're Cooper Webb, you know? And all the names sound the same. Like everybody in moto, you know, there was a Landon, there's a Jet phase, there's a Hayden phase, you know, so they all sound the same. But that was just really cool to like see Haley like in her element and just like killing it. And she's so sweet and
yeah,
I'm so proud.
So professional, so poised, so elegant. Queen.
Yes.
She's a queen.
Absolute queen. So we watched Moto 1 from down there. We could see the screens, and we were kind of in that bottom sand section, and we could hear. So at that point, like we were a little more aware of what was going on the whole time. Could not see the Ryder D-Rec, but we saw the replay, but had no idea how bad it was. Like we knew it was bad.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That was
you got so lucky. Yeah.
So immediately, like, I mean, we saw it all over social media. And then after Moto 2, after the second motos, like Ryder was like washed and like had taken a shower and was everything and like walking around the pits. Like, I'm like, how are you not dead for one? Like, so that is just like a miracle. Like, I feel like we've had some really, really, I mean, Juju included, close calls. And the fact that like Ryder was like totally fine, like is crazy to me. I've watched that clip I don't even know how many times. And the last like fall where it looks like he's like unconscious and his head like jerks back, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like makes me want to like, like I can't, it's so bad. And like now as a mom, like I feel like I feel things for them on like a whole other level. And like I met his mom in passing, and his girlfriend is so sweet. And so I was just like, oh my God, like that was awful. Like I feel it in my gut. So not good.
No. And then Deegan didn't even like apologize or anything.
You know, I've thought about this for a while, and like he didn't say anything, but like, did we expect him to? You know, like Ryder wasn't in his race, so to speak. He absolutely was. Ryder was flying. He was one of the people like in Moto 1 where I was like, he was in third at that point when we were in the back section. I was like, he looked great. But then, yeah, Hayden had his eyes set on other folks. I mean, so much so that he was cutting the track when he jumped on Ryder. So, anywho, I'm glad that Hayden got the penalty. We'll get to we can talk about the penalty now. Heard that the AMA disclosed like ahead of the SMX rounds that, you know, the first warning is the written warning. Words are hard. And then second warning is 5 points. So apparently Yamaha did the math and they were like, okay, well, if it's 5 points, then we can do this, this, and this. And that means we could like take out Joe and still win. And so there was like some anonymous text messages going around, like Yamaha's going to do something to Honda, and it got back to the AMA and it was like this whole thing. So like, I know we've always said like we want the AMA to have like set repercussions, but I feel like that backfired because Yamaha knew what the penalty was going to be. So they did the math on whether the penalty was going to be worth it or not. Like, I feel like in that situation, you need to be able to have some like flexibility to make the decision in the moment, you know? Cause I don't think that 5 points was enough for what he did. Like, am I crazy?
Not at all. No, not at all.
Yeah. I mean, I can't blame Yamaha for doing it because like it was for a championship, but like the fact that, you know, there were anonymous text messages going around like that, you know, Deegan's gonna like destroy your rider. Like, yeah, you have reason to be concerned because he knows he can do it and still win. So
yeah, and like Hammaker got docked 5 points, right? And I'm like, he didn't do anything close to what Deegan did.
No, did he get docked? He got docked at Charlotte, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. No, his was for jumping. His was for jumping on a red cross.
Yeah.
Oh, so stupid. But he still won. In Vegas. And oh my gosh, Seth might have been like my favorite person to watch on the podium just because he was like, I don't know, like so like shocked at like being up there. Not shocked at being up there, but like he just seemed like so like happy to be up there.
He seems so happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved that.
That was fun.
Like he had the biggest smile.
He did. He was so sweet. And we are big Seth Hammaker fans, maker of ham here. Just heard like lots of like personal stories about Seth and they're all positive. And like, I love his mom that comes and like, we saw his mom off to the side of the podium and I'm a wimp and like, I didn't want to get sprayed like directly in the face by his champagne, but like the dude next to us absolutely did. So like, I was hiding. I was like under the banner when Seth came with the champagne.
I've always dreamed about getting sprayed with the champagne because normally you have to pay for that experience to be at the podium and everything, except that outdoors. But outdoors is so crazy. Like the chances of you getting in the front is close to none.
Yeah.
So I had to take advantage of the champagne sprays because I'll probably never get to experience it again.
Well, we definitely took advantage of it, and it still drenched me. So me like ducking out of frame didn't do anything. I mean, I felt like we were just like sticky with champagne and sweat by the end of the night. But so we watched the second motos from the podium, and we just stayed at the front. And like we had little kids come up, be like, "Excuse me, can I step in front of you?" And I'm like, "No, I love this sport more than you, and we've been standing here longer, and I will be an absolute butthead about that. I'm not moving, and I feel no shame." So I was the mean one. There was someone that was trying to creep up on Katie, and I was like, "No, you are not getting here." And Katie's not moving.
Like, you can squeeze in a little bit. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to tell people no.
Gosh, and there was that one guy that was like screaming every time the cameras were on. I'm gonna put this guy's face on Vital. I haven't done it yet, but like
he needed to be removed. He was
just to be muzzled.
And I commend JT for just straight up ignoring it for that long because he just kept at it. JT, you're so pretty. You're so pretty. Like
awkward things he was yelling too.
Yeah, you know? It wasn't just like, go JT. Like, and I'm just like, I don't think JT ever looked at him.
No, nobody
I got like secondhand embarrassment, you know, and he was like 5 people from me and I was still oh my God, what is this guy doing?
I know. I haven't gotten to like the end of the broadcast yet. I've been watching the race back and, you know, little moments where I've been awake since we got back. And I'm like almost scared to hear like if they caught this guy on audio because he was so loud and obnoxious and just like, oh, I wanted to hit him. So awful. But Anywho, so we stayed down there. We watched from the Jumbotron for Moto 2 of both 450, 250 and 450. When Deegan went down, like, I'm pretty sure, like, my knees went weak. I remember, like falling, like, for screaming with joy.
Oh my gosh.
That was a
Yeah,
moment.
it was just like a catch-22. It was like, obviously I wanted Joe to win, you
Mhm.
know? Deegan was not being very nice, but the first thing that went to my mind is now MXon is ruined. Like,
Yeah.
he ruined it. And I
Yeah.
mean, there's still a chance he's been leaving little Easter eggs, but in that moment, I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, you made every round, every moto perfectly healthy.
Yep.
And the last 4 minutes, you're going to ruin it. I was like, Eli is going to be mad at you.
Yep. Yeah. And then for Chase to go out in the second moto, I was just like, man.
It was like a double whammy. I was just like, are you kidding? And, you know, Chase is cursed for not finishing that last moto at SMX the last 3 years. And this year I was like, that won't happen again. There's no way.
No,
and then
no.
bam, bam. I was
Yard sale.
speechless.
Yeah, Grant said, we were talking about it that night, and Grant said that, like, Grant was off the track when Chase went down, like, he was like something with his bike, and he was like, I heard Chase panic rev, and then I saw the bike cartwheeling through the air like 15 feet, and then felt Chase hit the ground. So they didn't get Chase's wreck like on the broadcast. There's video out there. It's bad. Like, it's nauseating.
They need to come out and say if it was the shock or like if it was something with the bike, because Johnny T and Eli are going to need to figure that out before he goes there. Like, if I was Eli, I'd be like, I am not riding that bike until that you can prove to me over and over again that that's not going to happen. Like, the bike is not going to fail on me like that.
Yeah, that was scary. So obviously, like, we didn't see it, but they did cut to it on the screen, because I remember, because you could see his arm. Like, so when he's laying down, it was his right arm, and his arm was like up, like at an angle. And so I was like, oh, he's moving. But then you realize his arm is just kind of shaking. And so I'm like, I think, and nobody said this, I have nothing to back this up, only because I have had 2 seizures. I think he had a seizure. And later that night, I went to Chiz's retirement party. Chase texted Chiz and was like, I'm beat up, but I'm fine. But I'm just like, he was out for like 3 laps.
Gosh. Yeah.
Why we didn't red flag this, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I think they couldn't get to him fast enough, which is another thing I'm sure the AMA wants to play down, or Feld or whoever. Because all the medic carts were the other direction. I mean, that was like as far as you could get from an ambulance was where he wrecked. And I don't want to speculate, but like, the arm was up in the air, it was moving, and he was out cold, which would make me think it's a seizure. But again, I don't know anything. The fact that he was able to be conscious and like walk himself into Alpine Stars, like that is incredible. Nobody else could take a hit like that except Chase.
No, Chase is a tank.
He is a tank. So then back at the podium, we got to see Joe and Seth and Tom. Poor Tom. He's so boring.
Poor Tom. Yeah. No one chanted his name once.
No.
I felt so bad.
It was bad. And like, there was 2 separate like Joes, and then somebody tried to do sushi, and somebody did Joe show, and then there was a whole thing for Seth. There was nothing for Tom. Like, and I feel
bad.
I do too.
Because I hate when people feel left out. Like,
I know.
And it's just like, he was really left out. And it was his last time here. So
I know. Gosh, that was a bummer. But so it was really cool seeing Jet and Eli and Hunter up close. I mean, you could just tell Hunter and Jet were like, yeah, this is great, but this sucks. Like, everybody wants it for Hunter, you know? Like, that's not fake.
Yeah.
Like, it was in their body posture. I mean,
yeah.
I can't even put myself in that situation where it's like, it's that much money and it's that much winning every time over your brother. I'm like, yeah, I think people in the beginning thought they weren't that tight. I mean, I even thought that's what it was. I was like, oh yeah, you know, eventually Hunter will split off. And I'm like, no, man, like, they ride each other's bikes at press day, like, just to see how they're set up. I'm like, why would you ever give that up?
Yeah. I never see them going their separate ways. Hunter just has to look at things from a perspective where he's okay with it. And Jet is just Jet, and Hunter fills it along with Eli and Cooper Webb and Chase. You know, it's like they all want to just be like beat Jet, and it's just sometimes it just looks like it's just not gonna happen. So at what moment are you like, okay, well, I'm just gonna be here for the paycheck? Like,
I think that's the mentality Cooper Webb had with SMX. Is he's like, oh, I'm not gonna beat them, and I'm not gonna kill myself trying. I don't.
He was on Maui time. He was on Maui time. He was like, just get me to Maui, please.
Yeah, I will say
that week.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, I was just gonna say, like, we couldn't have asked for a better podium, though, to be right front and center with Jet, Eli, and Hunter, because we watched them all year in motocross, and like the friendship that was built and everything, and how obsessed we were of like watching the press conference after. And I love the chanting of Eli, because Eli has been a pro for 15 years now.
Incredible.
And you can still see it's special to him when people are chanting, you know, like he would smile and like, you know, he raised his hand up. Like that has to be so special to feel that and still feel grateful for it after 15 years.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you one thing that's cool about Eli. I was looking back at my videos, is that Eli, I think when the cameras are off of him is when he actually like let himself have a moment. So like, you know, JT or whoever, I can't remember who's talking to him. I think it was JT, and they put the camera down, and then we're all chanting. And that's kind of when he looks out and like cracks a smile and like really looked really appreciative. And so I was like, wow, I felt like we were all so special because we got to see like real Eli. But I mean, you could just feel it, like the respect for Eli in that moment, the respect for Jet, the ache for Hunter, like the people that were down there at the podium, like honestly, they were not Deegan fans. Like when Deegan went down, everybody where we were, they were all cheering.
Oh yeah. They were like calling him a punk, and that's what you get. Like it's very negative towards Deegan.
Yeah. But I feel like other than like the kids that were there, the kids were all with parents. Like it was like our generation or older, you know? And so everybody's like, I get it. Like I'm a fan of Eli, and I'm a fan of what Honda's doing 250 and 450. So I feel like there was a lot of respect other than that one loudmouth kid. Which was cool. So loved that. Then hung around for a little bit after the race, and I was just watching the Honda camp that was back behind the podium, and like got to see like Jeff's mechanic do a burnout. I watched Bailey Zimmerman, who I had no idea who he was. I knew he was a big deal because he was on the broadcast and he had this big scary bodyguard and everybody's coming up to him, but like it was like midnight and he signed autographs and had the same amount of energy and the same amount of coolness and the same amount of like genuineness to every fan that came up. And I was just sitting there watching it. I was actually talking to a security guard, not his security guard, but another one. And I was like, dude, that's so cool. Like, I don't even know who he is. Looked him up on Instagram, like, oh, 2 million followers. I should probably pay attention. And then Tim's like, you know who he is, and like played me his songs. I was like, I know who this is.
Oh, yeah. I need to go listen to some music. He was really cool. Like
he was so
I saw
genuine.
like towards the end of it, but yeah, I was like, I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, so I said this on Instagram, but I ended up sitting next to him at the airport, which like I love that he flies commercial. And I went up to him and I was like, "Hey, like I'm lame, I'm old, like I didn't know who you were, but like I watched you at Super Motocross last night for like an hour, interact with your fans, and you were so cool that like that made me a fan." And you know, during the burnout, like he was geeking out, like he really does love Moto, which I think is also really cool.
That's awesome.
But gosh, that was so fun, and like seeing Tati carrying around the championship trophies and just watching Joe and the press conference and the I don't speak English, and oh my gosh.
Oh, that was legendary.
Joe's stock just went through the roof. And the fact that he has not signed his contract with Honda.
Yeah. He's like,
okay,
add some more moolah to that.
Yep. He's like, you know what my contract was at the end of motocross? Double it.
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, he did not flinch. I mean, that was the craziest thing is like, you could see it. Like Deegan was like, you know, trying to get him to poke the bear. This is the metaphor I use. Poke the bear, poke the bear. And Joe's like, what bear? Like he does not care.
No, he doesn't.
And
that's
so
the mentality
powerful
to have. That's the mentality to have.
Yeah. Goodness. So that was the end of race day. I went out with Mina and Grant for Chiz's retirement party. Finally,
girl, I don't know how you did that. Like I commend you, because usually I'm like, I'll go, like I'll suck it up. But I was like, no way. Like I would die.
I shotgunned a Red Bull and a Gatorade. That's how. I was like, I just had to down it. But it was so worth it because I finally got to meet Brittany Chisholm. And oh my gosh, like she is exactly the same in person as she is online. Like it is 2:00 in the morning and that girl is a million miles an hour. And she was such a delight. And like, I didn't say anything until the end. I think actually Mina said it. There was like, oh, Allie's from Real Housewives of Moto. And she was like, get out. I love your content. And I was like, oh my gosh. Cause we've only like DM'd a little bit over the years.
Yeah.
And so she said she would do the pod, and I'm so
That's
excited.
awesome. I remember when you first like had this idea, you would like rave about her. So that's really cool. Like full circle.
Yeah.
For you.
I mean, she's so unapologetically herself, and like, she's so fun, you know? And I'm like, everybody has their downfalls, you know? Like, I don't necessarily know that like we're going to agree on everything. I've said things about MLMs, and she's involved in direct marketing, we shall say. But oh my gosh, like watching Chiz tell stories and like her watch Chiz and like correct him on parts of the story, like it was so fun. So that was just a delight. And so like every so often, like fans would come up and they'd ask Chiz to sign something, and they'd ask Brittany to sign it. And
that's
so
cool.
It was really fun, and it was like we went to Huddle Brewery, and it was really cool. Like it's just, you know, Skip Norfolk owns it, and there's all these like Moto themed beers and things like that. So yeah, it was really fun. I didn't get home till like 4:00 in the morning. So like I said, still recovering, but definitely worth it. It was so fun. And it was fun to like get to hang out with Mina and Grant a little bit more, and Benny Bloss was there, and it was a good time. So I'm glad I went, even though I'm still tired. Anywho, other than being exhausted, I mean, the major thought from the weekend is like, as of right now, Katie and I are going to Des Nations in 2 weeks, and we don't know what our team looks like. So that's a bummer. You know, Deegan is like Katie said, you know, dropping some little nuggies that maybe he'll be back in time. We've heard, you know, Tyler Bowers has had collarbone and come back. Cody Schock has had collarbone and come back. So weirder things have happened, but TBD on the team. We've heard J Coop, we've heard RJ, both are quality dudes. I know RJ was like, don't put me back on that Husky 250, which I don't blame him.
RJ for sure needs to ride 450.
Yeah. And J Coop on a 250, I mean, the dude rips. So he's the new K-Dub. Like, he's fast AF, but he's always bridesmaid, never a bride. So I'm team J Coop. He had some battles with like Kenny and Chase, and who else was back there? And RJ and J Coop. So that little pack of four, like when we were standing back there, they were insane. So
yeah, I mean, J Coop is who won it for us in 2022. The only thing is he's got to get used to riding the 250 again. So that might change things a little. But I do think Eli, RJ, and J Coop are a stronger team than when it was Eli, AP, and Cooper Webb last year.
Yeah.
I think we have it's still a solid team. And I also like that RJ said like a few interviews ago that adapting to the 450 class has been cool, but he's still a little intimidated by Eli Tomac. So the fact that he might be like buddy with him for Des Nations week is going to be like neat to see and like hear what he has to say about Eli. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. I'm so looking forward to it. I've had some like family things come up, which might keep me from Des Nations. Katie and I talked about it off air. I'm trying to figure that out, but I'm like, man, like thinking about seeing that and Team Australia. And like Joe's riding for Japan, like a bunch of our friends that we met this weekend are going to be there. So I'm like, I really hope it works out, that like everything goes smoothly and I can go. And like, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, Chase and Deegan are out, I'm out, I'm selling my tickets. Like I had some friends say that, and I'm like, where is your patriotism?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Like Eli's going, so I'm good. Oh my God, Derek, he was like, I'm so glad it wasn't Eli that got hurt, because you probably would have just driven yourself to the Grand Canyon and drove off.
I love that. It's so true.
I'm like, that's true. Like, I'd be at my wit's end at that point.
No, Eli looked strong all the way to the end, and he fought Jet and Hunter. So Eli's solid.
They left everyone by like 15 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, it was nuts. Like, I mean, that's when you and I were like holding on to the gate, just being like, what is that's when I was like, America's winning, stamp it. And I texted it to some of my friends, and they were like, hey, this didn't age well. Like, that's when Eli was in first, and I texted that. So, oh my goodness. Anywho, Katie's got to run. We got to wrap this up, but it was the trip of a lifetime. I'm so glad I went. I just, you know, for the only Vegases that I've gone to being 2017 and this one, like, I'm kind of spoiled by the racing that I've seen in Vegas.
You are. Yes. Yeah.
And if you came up and if you got a bracelet or you got a picture or anything with us, like, please tag us and share all your pictures and everything. It was so fun getting to meet Romies. Like, y'all, I felt so strange. People coming up to me and be like, I follow you. And I'm like, W2F. I'm like, what? Like, I felt so awkward, but it was so fun. So grateful to have spent it with my friends, Katie and Mina and Grant, and just Grant qualified, so it's good vibes, and Grant's healthy, so it was just fun all the way around. And like all the people that I've met in Moto, like all genuine people, genuine connections, and just in a time when the world is so weird, I'm thankful to have Moto.
Yeah,
Period.
for sure. Mic drop. Yeah.